I thought I had allergies. We went to Urgicare, and that's where my lung capacity was below 60 at that point. And they said, get to ER right away.
Honestly, I really didn't think it was coronavirus.
She actually thought that I'd be in there for, maybe 4 hours, and then she'd pick me up and we'd go home. But that wasn't the rest of the story.
By about 5:30 that night, we realized it was positive and that he was going on a ventilator that night.
I never got the chance to tell her I love her or say goodbye.
We were able to talk on the phone one more time, and during that time, we both knew that he was going to be put on a ventilator, so it was an emotional conversation. He was scared, I was scared. It wasn't pleasant, but our strong love and strong faith got us through it. Many times I tell people that I went that Saturday morning from sitting on the couch with my husband to having him fighting for his life on a ventilator that evening. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that he would spend the next 19 days on the ventilator, literally fighting for his life. Towards the end of the first week he was in there, it went downhill and went downhill really fast. The doctors described him as having ARDS, the acute respiratory distress syndrome, and described his lungs as concrete. So that was a hard message to receive because the situation was very dire at that point. He was just really, really sick, on maximum ventilator support, and there wasn't a whole lot more they could do for him at that point. But it also made it tougher on all of the medical staff because not only did they have to do their jobs, but they also had to be me up there trying to help and relay messages and those kinds of things. But I also appreciated them telling me like it was, being realistic with me, telling me what I should expect and what the chances are of either him getting worse or getting better. They were actually preparing me to say goodbye to Steve. They told me that there was a very high likelihood that he would not survive this. Fortunately, we started to see a glimmer of hope. And every day after that, it seemed to get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better.
Those last 6 days, I started remembering people when they came in, especially my therapist. That was pretty emotional for me because they became, to me, family. And I think that's the thing I'll remember the most about Nebraska medicine is they became family. In fact, we had a parade here after we got home, and the last car that came through was a car with the two therapists from Nebraska medicine. And I'll give a shout out to them. It was Katie and Allie, and that meant a lot.
I was really happy that that's where we were because the reputation of Nebraska medicine, I knew that that's where we wanted Steve to be for anything, but especially something as traumatic as this. I thought the level of care was top-notch. The nurses communicated with me, they would give me updates. When I would call, they didn't act like I was bugging them because I'm sure I called a lot more than I would have had I been able to be there. It was great to be able to see them in person and talk to them and have those conversations as if we were doing it face-to-face.
Recovery is long, and a lot of it is with the lungs because the capacity isn't there. I had AFib, which happens quite a bit when your heart is under so much stress during the ventilator. I also, my blood sugars put me up into the diabetic area. And then you have a lot of effects on your nerves, whether it's tremors or whether it's neuropathy. Today, I would say I'm about 75% to 80%, and I think the 20% will be just over a long period of time yet.
I owe them the world for being with Steve and saving his life and being a wonderful medical staff for me, and they really helped me out a lot.